All right, welcome back. This is CEPSL, Collectively Evolving Platform Sports League. I'm Kyle Smith, Platform Sports League. I got Chris Evans from CE Stars. We just had a great draft. We just had 4 teams drafting about 46 kids to each team. And up first, we're going to kind of take a look, get a review of some of these guys, get a review of the draft, how we think everything went, get some coaches involved here, get some short interviews, get their reactions. And we're going to dive right in. So first team, we're looking at the Purdue Boilermakers. So we had, basically Purdue, I think was what? Second in the draft?
Yes, sir. Got the second pick
in the draft. Give me an idea, Chris. You know some of these guys. What are you thinking about the roster here?
Yeah, the way LeSean and his staff picked the roster was really intriguing to me. Having 2 quarterbacks that they drafted, one being Isaiah Rodgers, will really help CE Stars this offseason in the 7-on-7 circuit and winning multiple championships and playing up higher than his age division and really being able to compete at a high level. And also they picked up a player named Noah Lyon. He's a really smart receiver, slot guy, plays some DB2 as well. But I think that is a real good pickup for Purdue, just having that leadership and that smart ability in the slot.
All right, we got Coach Lee with us, head coach of the Purdue Boilermakers, my squad. Coach Lee, what's happening?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good, man, good. Me and Chris were just checking out the roster. We wanted to get your thoughts, how you think the draft ended up, what you thought about it.
I think the draft was smooth. I think every team is even. As I was looking through and trying to basically make my picks off basically the other teams and as far as size and talent wise. So I think it's pretty even.
Yeah, and as far as, the players that you picked, you got some leaders in there. You got some older guys, some freshmen, some 7th graders, some 8th graders. What are you looking for in your team day one?
Day one, I'm just looking for guys that can adapt to the situation because we get an hour before practice, before the game, or what is it, 30 minutes?
Yeah,
so I'm just looking for somebody that just, like you said, leaders to, lead and adapt to the situation, just coming and playing, because it's not like we got 2 weeks of practice or a month of practice and we putting in plays and stuff. So everything's going to be on the fly. So I'm just looking for players that can adapt and make plays.
Yeah, no doubt. To me, that's underrated. You got new team, you got guys that might not have been with each other on a squad before. So, how fast mentally can you gel together and get some chemistry going? I think regardless of size, I think all that stuff is tangible. But how quick can you get chemistry going to make some plays?
Well, speaking of the chemistry thing, some of those kids I knew that knew each other. And I think Marcus – I think it was Christopher, the kid I got. Marcus was saying that was one of the kids that I picked up friends. So I was like, let me get him just so like you said, you get new kids on your team and then they don't know you, so they're kind of shy. So if I get his friend, then he feels more comfortable. You know what I mean? So I try to, if I grab this person and I ain't know him, I try to grab somebody that I think he might know or they might go to the same school.
I like that strategy.
Okay. Looking at the schedule, first game of the night, end of the season is Purdue versus Indiana. You being an offensive coordinator going against your brother on the other side of the ball, how is that? How are you going to go into the game and thinking of that mental chess match against your brother? He knows you, you know him. What's your thoughts there?
That's gonna be tough, man. But just knowing my brother and him knowing me, and knowing my plays is for anything. It's gonna be cover 2 or cover 3. I know he don't have time to put in a complex coverage, so it's gonna be all basic coverages. So I'm not really too much of nervous or he might stop me or anything. I think it's gonna come down to our defense, if anything. That's how confident I am into executing our plays and stuff like that. And I got a couple receivers that I know for sure that's going to make plays, and I got the best quarterback in the draft. So I'm good on offense.
Respect the confidence, man.
Yes, sir.
Coach Lee, I appreciate it. Best of luck. We'll see you soon.
I appreciate it, Platform Sports and CE.
Yes.
Yes, sir. All right, next up, we got the Notre Dame Fighting Irish head coach, Smitty. I thought it was a strong draft as well. A lot of good strategies. Chris, what are your thoughts on the roster, man?
Like I said, this roster is one of the most dynamic rosters in my opinion. With Nate Williams and Gavin Lamb being, really tall skyscrapers when it's come to the receiver position, and being able to mix in Caden Ollinger, one of the most fluent route runners in the league, in my opinion, is going to be This is going to be really good for them, and I know Coach Smitty is going to pick the best guys in the best positions on offense and defense to be able to overcome adversity at any time and come out with the wins.
Can't beat size, especially on the edges going to get those deep balls, man. A lot of 50-50 balls and 7-on-7. Size is a big factor. All right, we got the head coach of Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Coach Smitty. Big draft tonight. What's up, man? How we doing?
Good. How you doing?
Absolutely. Not bad, man. Not bad. What Chris and I just got a glimpse of your roster, talked about it a little bit, want to get your reaction, how you think the draft went, how you think you ended up.
Oh, yeah, man. I think I got a really solid team. There was one player I tried to get. He was already locked up. But besides that, I think the draft went really good as far as the squad I got and the ability the players on my team have. So I'm happy overall with the draft.
Awesome.
Yeah, going over your roster, you got a lot of young guys, a lot of old guys. Like I said before to the other coaches, like, what are you looking for in your day one for your team, like as far as leadership wise and athleticism?
Really, day one, I want to see how well they can come together in a fast time. Since we only got 30-minute practice, then we straight in, and then I really want to see who stands out, first week, so we can make adjustments based off of that, and really who can step up and lead the squad, out the gate, since it's a fast start, and I feel like we just got to see who can get it done.
Yeah, we talked about your receiving core. Now, we looked at your receiving core. You have two very tall outside receivers. I don't know if that's how you plan on using them, but two of the tallest receivers in the draft, along with Caden Ollinger, one of the, like you said, most fluent route runners in the league as well. How do you plan on using those guys?
Man, with the height we got, you know what I'm saying, it's always going to be a good chance of that 50-50 ball on the outside. But I feel like I got other players in that slot position that me and Coach Tope's going to be able to put in, and they're really going to be the secret weapons, you know what I'm saying, because we got that height, you know what I'm saying. So that's going to be there, but it's going to be about who can make a play and where the plays are going to be at on the field.
And you have two quarterbacks on your roster. Both quarterbacks are in 8th grade, and you have a handful of freshmen on your roster. How do you think that those older guys are going to be able to adapt with the younger guys, and are the younger guys going to be? You think they're going to be nervous, or how you think they'll adjust?
Really, I just feel like it's all about that first 15 minutes of offense that we get to put in and see the chemistry that the players will have. But I think they're going to be all right. Honestly, I think the quarterbacks I picked up will be able to keep up with the speed of the freshmen that we have and be able to get those balls there.
Yes, sir. So a general theme of so far in responses, how important the first few minutes, the first 30 minutes of practice, get those installs, get the team chemistry building. It's going to be huge, man.
For sure.
Coach, appreciate you joining us. Wish you the best. Excited for Sunday, man.
Yes, sir. Can't wait.
All right, wrapping up with the fourth team, Indiana State Sycamores, coached by head coach Andrew Griffin, Coach Griff. Now, this team is a little different. We got a group of kids from Tri-West Middle School that kind of teamed up on this squad with a few additionals. Chris, give me an idea. What are your thoughts on Indiana State?
Indiana State, the sickest jerseys in the league, in my opinion.
I agree.
But the Tri-West kids and having all the coaches in this league be CE Stars coaches, that was kind of like they're kind of like the dark horse in the league right now. For those 6 that are coming in, that, you know what I'm saying, they could really help the team. They could shock the league, or they could just, you know what I mean, it's up or down. So depending on what they do, the extra pieces that Coach Griff drafted is going to really help them. Damon Miller and Elijah Hackett were really vocal. Really vocal on the 12U defense this year, helping them, get to multiple championships and, fight real hard in different tournaments. So I know they're going to bring the juice for Coach Griff and then, add in the Tri-West kids and it should be a show.
I'm excited to see how this team shapes up the most, I think. Unpredictable. We'll see what happens.
Sure.
All right, we got the head coach of the Indiana State Sycamores, an alum himself, Coach Griff. How we doing, man?
Good. How you doing, Coach?
Not bad, not bad. Appreciate you joining us. We got to look at your roster, kind of excited about it. We've kind of stated that you guys are kind of the wild card, so we don't know really what's going to come out of it, but I'm excited to see how it forms up. So what's your initial reaction to the draft? How you think everything went? Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, I think the draft went well. I'm excited. I got a group of Tri-West kids, a group of 7 that I'm excited to work with, hoping that they're going to be able to gel good, having played together before and or at least knowing each other. So that's a big plus that I'm hoping for. And then I got a couple other kids that we picked up that are pure athletes that I've seen play before. So I'm super excited to have those guys on the team.
Okay, yeah. What is your opinion on how the kids that you drafted are going to deal with the Tri-West kids?
Well, I think the kids that I've picked as well, I've seen most of them play and talked with a lot of them. So I think, just talking about working as a team, and that's going to be kind of our team motto, is being one team, one goal, and trying to make that gel come together and let the kids just meet each other, feed off each other, and work together as a team.
The general theme here so far, like everybody we've talked to, it's how important that first 30 minutes, that first practice is, kind of get gel together, like you said. But I feel like in that aspect, you guys have a little heads up on everybody.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we will a little bit, but I think I got some athletes that'll be able to help them as well. So just that first 30 minutes is going to be important, figuring out who goes where, who knows what position a little better, just to, maybe show somebody behind them what they can do or how they can improve it. The players can be coaches as well. So I'm excited about that. And I think, having that group of Tri-West kids, the quarterback knows the 6 other players. So I think that's going to be good as well, plus the other athletes we're able to pick up.
Yeah, the games are 3. You got 3 games each night with a 30-minute practice. As far as being an offensive coordinator, what defensive coordinators in the league are you most worried about as far as running your offense?
It's probably going to be Coach Marcus. He's a great coach. He gets those kids to buy into everything he does. And that's huge, especially for a program. And only having 30 minutes and the positive vibes that he gives off to the kids are great. Phenomenal coach.
All right, Coach. We appreciate the time, man. I'm excited to see how the Sycamores turn out this season. I appreciate you joining us.
Awesome. I appreciate the interview and looking forward to Sunday. Go Sycamores.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, next up, we got the Indiana Hoosiers. IU was actually picked first in the draft. Coach Scott Buchanan and Coach Marcus. I thought they had a strong draft. Chris, what are your thoughts on their roster?
They have a really good duo from Center Grove, and Tristan Baxter and Jaden Buchanan. I know those guys played a lot together and also played with each other in this past offseason doing 7-on-7 and as well having their offensive coordinator that they've been having during 7-on-7 is going to be real good for them. And also a really, really intriguing pick was Jayon Butler and Jelani Reed. They were kind of a package deal, but I'm kind of excited to see what they do and what they bring to the table.
What do you think, just real quick question, on these guys, like especially from CE Stars that have that experience in 7-on-7 versus maybe some guys that are coming for the first time? Like how important is that experience to have as a middle school kid?
It's real big. 7-on-7 is kind of a plug and play as far as you don't really chemistry matters, but if you have athleticism and you know what to do and how to do it, you can kind of get away with stuff. So that team having the most CE Stars players on that team is going to be a good, really good for them because, you know, so those kids know 7-on-7 and they can bring the other kids along and so they can win.
That'll be big. That'll be big. All right, we got two coaches from the Indiana Hoosiers, Coach Scott, Coach Marcus, joining us right now. Talk a little bit about their team. What's going on, coaches?
Hey, pretty excited about this season coming up now that we done seen the roster we were able to put together.
Yes, sir. Awesome. We got a chance to talk a little bit about your roster, how the draft went. Coach Scott, give us an idea, kind of your initial reactions, what you think about the roster, how the draft went for you guys.
Yeah, we were happy with who we were able to get locked in early. Was able to, you know, slide in some picks that we also wanted a little bit later, and we got a lot of chemistry between, you know, some of the kids that have played together and known each other, you know, been throwing the ball around with. So I think that's going to help us right off the bat.
I got to say, you are probably the most cohesive staff during the draft. We had texts going back and forth. You guys knew what you're doing. You seemed prepared. So that's a good sign for sure.
Yeah, I really noticed that. It was you guys are the last team that we talked to. And this question for Coach Marcus. Both LeSean and Griff both mentioned you as a defensive coordinator that they're kind of worried about as they put their offensive game plan together. What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, they just know how I'm able to adapt to the game as the game flows. So no matter how the game gonna start off, I'm gonna come up with some things that's gonna be able to stop some people. That's really like the key to what I do.
What about sorry, Chris, I'm just thinking as you go through it, everybody's been talking about, you know, the short time frame with these guys, like not necessarily being a team just yet. So you're showing up day one, and you're going to have to install some things, get some things laid out. What's your approach, I guess both of you, if you can go offensively then defensively, what's your approach to getting that all laid out and how you install? Yeah,
well, I think, you know, right off the bat, going back to that chemistry there, a lot of these kids know each other already, so they'll kind of be able to build that rapport really quick and just focus on the actual game plan. So, you know, got some things diagrammed out for them already, and some of them are going to be used to it as well. And I think they're going to hit the ground running pretty quick, while it might take some other teams, you know, a little while to build some momentum.
Yeah, and going off that, like offense, it's kind of, I ain't gonna say it's easy, but you gotta look at a play card and you gotta go. Like getting them to understand defense and drops of their zones and stuff like that. That'd be the most difficult thing to do, especially like some of these kids, they don't even play defense. So being able to see how we can get that to go, that's gonna really be like the deciding factor is if we can get these guys up and going on defense, because most of these guys are really good at offense already.
Well, I think the experience between Coach Marcus and I know he's coached for a long time. I've coached for a really long time as well. So I think that's going to be, you know, beneficial as well, making sure we get things done in that 30 minutes and be confident about it.
Yeah, Coach Marcus, looking at the Notre Dame offensive core, we talked about this earlier in Coach Mitty's team, Nate Williams and Gavin Lamb being some of the tallest kids in the league. How do you plan on stopping those guys?
Oh, I got two of the best safeties that you can ask for.
Yep.
We got two of the best safeties you can ask for, and they're pretty tall too. We got Ray standing about 5'10", and Tariq's almost 6 foot now. So yeah, we got guys who can sit back there and they can go up and get it.
Awesome. Coaches, listen, I appreciate the time. Appreciate you joining us. We're excited to get this thing started. Wish you guys the best, man.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right. So there you have it, everybody. We got the coaches. We got the roster selected. Everything is being put in place for Sunday, July 12th. Season gets kicked off, underway. I'm pumped about it. Chris, what do you got, man? Any predictions, projections? What are your thoughts about week one and the season alone?
Week one's going to be an interesting week. My predictions, I mean, I'm not going to be biased on any predictions, but I got a couple predictions that I think I'm almost spot on. I think the Indiana State is going to come out kind of struggle as far as gelling together. I know they have 6 of the Tri-West kids, and Coach Griff really hasn't been around those kids or really know those kids. So he's going to have 30 minutes with those kids. So it might be a tough transition with those kids. Also, I'm predicting that Indiana Hoosiers go undefeated first day. They kick it off against LeSean and Marcus, what we talked about already. And I think just Coach Marcus's defense is just gonna hold up all day. They might not get scored on. That's my prediction. They might not get scored on.
That is big.
Notre Dame is going to be a problem on the offensive side. I think the Notre Dame Indiana Hoosiers game is going to be a big game. Great offense from Notre Dame, great offensive weapons and great defense on the Indiana Hoosiers. So, but I think Indiana Hoosiers are going to edge it out, go undefeated, 2-1 for Notre Dame, 2-1 for Purdue, and then 0-3 for Notre Dame. I mean for Indiana State. Sorry.
Indiana State. Those are big predictions. There you have it, folks. There's a lot of things. Obviously, I'm new to the league, so I haven't seen coaches coach. I haven't seen players play. So I'm excited to kind of soak things in, gain some knowledge on how the teams kind of, collectively evolve together, I guess, if you will. So we appreciate everybody tuning in. All you players, get ready to roll. It's going to be full-time action right at 5:30 on Sunday the 12th. You got anything else, man?
That's it. I know we talked about this, but I know you're introducing stat keeping in Platform Sports League this year. What you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So basically the goal of everything here is to keep the engagement going all week, right? So you got games going on Sunday, but we're bringing a new dimension to this whole thing is the goal as far as the media approach, right? So we got highlights coming. We got just like this, discussions, bringing coaches in, different things like that, player highlights. And then the big thing I think is going to be some stats. We're going to have some league leaders. We haven't necessarily zeroed in on which stats we're talking about, but we got stat keepers on each field. We got the media on each field. So we're going to capture every stat that we can, every moment that we can, and really let these guys shine, let these kids shine and have a great experience all collectively, man. It's going to be exciting.
Yes, sir.
All right. Again, thanks for everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys Sunday. CE, Platform Sports League. Let's do it.